Hi, this is Gabi from the Audubon Society of Western Pennsylvania, and it is a rainy day here, but that's actually a perfect time for us to start talking about watersheds. Hi there, friends. We're here to talk about watersheds today. So first we're going to use these maps to review what a watershed is. So this is a 3D contour map. It shows you elevation. So that's how many feet above sea level something is. It also shows you the features of the land. So hills, valleys, curves, things like that. This is called topography. So this is a map of Pittsburgh. Here's downtown, and this is Point State Park where the fountain is. Over here is where the Steelers and the Pirates play. So this is the Monongahela River, and this is the Allegheny River. And they both meet right here at Point State Park to form the Ohio River. A tributary is a smaller river that joins a larger river. So the Monongahela and Allegheny are both tributaries of the Ohio. This is Sawmill Run. It is also a tributary of the Ohio River. It is much smaller though. So when you start thinking about watersheds, you should also think about the water cycle. If we have precipitation, let's say this raindrop that lands on the hillside here, it could evaporate back up into the clouds, but it may soak into the soil. This is called infiltration. Or it may run over the surface of the ground. That's called surface runoff. Whether it's above the ground or under it, water still has to obey gravity, so it's going to travel downhill. For our imaginary rainstorm, let's have our raindrop land on this hillside right here. Where's downhill? The Monongahela River. So this drop is part of the Monongahela River watershed. If we go across the river to this hillside, same thing. It's still going downhill into the Monongahela River. So the land on both sides of this river are all part of the Monongahela River watershed. But not all of the land. What if the raindrop lands on this hillside? So, same piece of land, but now downhill is the Allegheny River. So we say that on this side, it's part of the Allegheny River watershed. But either way, that raindrop is going to flow into the Ohio River. So this whole area is also part of the Ohio River watershed. We also call it the Ohio River Drainage Basin because all of the water from the lands and rivers around here drains into the Ohio. So how do you know where the dividing line is between watersheds? Well, let's switch maps to find out. This is another 3D contour map, but it's showing a part of the Allegheny River that is much closer to home. This is where the river runs past Aspinwall and Sharpsburg on its way to the Ohio River. This stream is Guyasuta Run. And it's easy to see on this map that the hillsides surrounding it are all part of Guyasuta Run watershed. Over here is Squaw Run. It's another stream, and it runs off the map over here, and joins the Allegheny River farther upstream. So where's the dividing line between the two smaller watersheds? Well, this kind of map makes it easy to figure that out. All you have to do is mark all of the high points along the top of the watershed. Now it's easy to figure out on this side because it's pretty straight. It's a little bit more challenging to figure it out on this side, but if we're careful, we can still do it. And there, if we connect the dots, we have the boundary of Guyasuta Run watershed. So all of the water falling in between the two boundary lines is part of Guyasuta Run watershed. But if it's outside the boundary on this side, it's going to Squaw Run watershed. I'm not sure what the name of this little stream is, but no matter what, all of the water falling in any of these smaller watersheds is also part of the Allegheny River watershed. So a lot of people think that these are mountains, the tops of these hills, but they aren't. We do have mountains in Pennsylvania, but right here in Pittsburgh, we are on a plateau, which means the land is flat. So why all the hills? Well, remember, when our raindrop lands and becomes surface runoff, it can carry more than just water. When it carries soil, we call that erosion. Over thousands of years, even a small stream can erode a steep valley through a plateau. Think of the Grand Canyon. So now we know that a watershed is an area of land where water runs through the land or over it as surface runoff to collect in a larger body of water. And we know that small watersheds run into larger watersheds. One thing these maps can't show us, though, is that what's covering the surface of the land here. And that's an important part of watersheds because the trees, farms, buildings, and roads that surround a water all affect how much and how fast the water travels through the watershed. And it affects whether it's polluted once it gets there. That's what we'll look at in our next video. Thanks for watching.